813. All right, first order of business is setting the mill rate for fiscal year.
Do we want to, we have some regular members missing.
We do. Grubb is missing.
I'd make a motion for Matt to sit in for Grubb.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any others? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, great. So Mr. Olson is sitting in for Mr. Garvin. Setting the mill rate, fiscal year 2021 to 2022. I will entertain a motion. We'll have discussion if needed, but entertain a motion to set the mill rate at 23.30.
So moved. Second.
Second. Any discussion?
Yeah.
No discussion? Move to a vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye. Aye.
Any opposed? Didn't hear any. Okay, motion carries. Great. Quickly through other business. Tim, Board of Selectmen waiving the bidding process for the town auditor.
Yes, well, at the recommendation of our finance director, the Board of Selectmen voted to waive the bidding requirement for the town auditor for next year due to the lack of time to do an effective bidding on the audit. The audit price goes up slightly, and we know that they do a very credible job. It might be that a multi-year contract be entertained at some point as opposed to every year going through it, but some towns do require changes periodically just to make sure that an auditor doesn't stay there for years and years. But
is there any action required by the Board of Finance, or is it just a FYI?
We voted to approve it. I don't believe you need to. I don't think they have to do anything.
Just have to approve the auditor.
So
Because it's you that hires it.
it's
Right.
between 25 and 50,000, so that would mean some bids normally. But in this case, we waive that. So if you guys want to hire them as per the contract or the proposal, then you're okay with the policy.
Has the name changed again? Who's the auditor?
It used to be Blue Shapiro.
Right.
It's CLA, Clifton, Larson, Allen, LLA.
Here.
CLA.
Clifton, Larson, and Allen. Like a lawyer.
Yeah,
All right.
I hadn't heard of them. They're a big firm, apparently. I Googled them. I hadn't heard of them, but apparently they're a pretty big firm.
Yeah, they're in West Hartford.
No, Bloom Shapiro's in West Hartford.
And it's the same firm.
No, they merged with a larger firm.
Oh,
so
okay,
Bloom
yeah,
Shapiro is now part of either a regional or a national firm.
Yeah. All right, I'll entertain a motion to engage Clifton Larson Allen LLP as our auditor for the 2020-2021 fiscal year. Is that right?
They would be auditing the 6/30/21.
Right. Yep.
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion? Hearing none, move to a vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
Aye.
That's say nay. All right. We've got a little bit more expense for the IT project. This was migrating everybody to Outlook, $17,000.
Well, this is essentially to get a jump on it. The money's in the budget for next year, but because this would start in this fiscal year, it would create a mismatch with the funding.
Right.
So if we appropriate this, then we won't use next year's money. this first-class system is terrible, and it's going to go out of business in the fall anyway. So,
So I'll entertain a motion for this,
Get going.
for $17,000 appropriation for CT computer services to affect the migration from first class to Outlook.
So that allows us to like archive all the information that was in first class, or like, I guess what I'm wondering from like freedom of information and retention
all
storage.
That's where I'm on the IT committee, and that's where a lot of the expense is in making sure that information's preserved.
Okay, yeah.
That's actually a real high percentage of that 17,000.
Yeah.
Okay.
Is there a second?
Second,
Wait,
Matt made the motion.
No, I was actually asking a question about like what.
Oh, did no one made the motion yet?
No motion.
I entertained the motion.
I'll make the motion.
Andy, second? Anyone?
No, I'll second it.
BJ? Any additional discussion at all?
Is it for the $17,000
Yeah.
appropriation?
Yep. Move to a vote. All in favor, say aye.
All
Aye.
right,
Any opposed, say nay. Okay, motion carries. Old Line PGN Library Improvement Fund, we've got a little bit of cash left over, actually $7,000, you said, something like that, Nicole?
Yep, so this is just a fund, we had kept the bonds separate when we got them for the library. And, you know, we paid it to the library as the past 6 to 8 months. And we paid some legal fees out of there, and we earned some interest on there. So there's about $7,000 that's just gonna close out to the general fund. And I don't know that you really even have to approve it, I just wanted to let you know that that's what I'm gonna do by the end of the year.
Okay, thank you. Final item, the $6,500 for the Soundview sidewalks. Tim?
Because the contractor came in at a very competitive rate, the committee is endeavoring to utilize as much of the grant proceeds as possible for other allowable improvements. Now, any new stuff would need to be approved by DOT, but there are a couple, 3 things that are being discussed at the committee level. One is to create a bus station. We get the actual shelter from Estuary Transit District, so it would be some site walk to. We did get the contractor from Connecticut Water boxed in the road for us for free because we let them store stuff there. So the road would have to have either paving where the bus stops or the whole thing paved, depending on the cost. There need to be some concrete access from the sidewalk to the shelter and perhaps some other enhancements. I think there would be a bike rack and maybe a sort of a toolkit stand for bicycles. Then there would be hopefully some signage that would talk about the Soundview Gateway area coming from east and west on 156 to announce the Soundview area there. So this money would be for BSC, which is our engineering outfit, to not to exceed type thing, to design some of these improvements, and it would come out of the money in the budget, the $400,000, so that this would be funded through the grant, or not the grant, but funded through our appropriation, so that we wouldn't need an appropriation per se, the way we're structuring it.
Sidewalks look great down there, by the way.
They look really
Yeah,
Yeah,
it really
they
does look good.
look great.
So that's where we are with that.
So Tim, this would provide the design work, but what about the actual items?
Well, they would establish a probable cost, so
Okay.
if we're spending under 300,000 on the on the contractor. There's about 100,000
Okay,
available in the grant
as long as,
/ in our appropriation
Okay.
in the budget. So there's a difference between the 400,000 in the budget and the grant. The grant's on the income side, the spend is on the expenditure side. So the 400,000 that is on the expenditure side can be used for grant eligible stuff, or it could be used for non-eligible such as this. And that 15,000 that the town has to come up with for the engineering work for BSC, it's not eligible. So that's about 21,500 all told. So that ostensibly would, if in the perfect world, if there was 400,000 available, we had to spend 21,000 on non-eligible through the expenditure side, then you'd underutilize the grant by 21,000. And if there was something extremely important to do using grant money, then you could spend that 21 on eligible stuff, and then we have to appropriate the 21,000. So if the sum total of all these extra improvements is say $50,000, you would underspend the grant, but we could still pay for the stuff without going with an appropriation.
Hey, Jude,
Yeah?
are you on the phone?
So what do you, am I?
Are we,
I'm on the phone, yes.
oh, okay, yeah. So 60,
I have a question. Am I there?
yep,
So Tim, all you're asking for is an appropriation of $6,500.
Not an appropriation. This is just, it doesn't require any appropriation. I don't think it even requires a Board of Finance motion.
Okay.
We have the money.
Okay.
We have the 400,000 in the budget for the project with no strings attached. The grant,
Yeah?
can only be used for DOT approved items, which this would
Yeah, I
not
get that,
be
Tim.
because it's engineering.
Okay, got it.
okay. So thank you for that. No action needed. Michelle, for your benefit, approval of minutes.
3 cents.
So, did everyone receive the copies of the minutes if they didn't already have them? Michelle sent them snail mail
Yep.
Yeah.
and email.
Yeah.
All right, so we'll start with March 2nd. Wait,
no, we
I'm sorry, March 2nd. March 16th. Wait a minute.
Well, March 2nd was sent to us.
Did we already approve
We
that?
approved those. I think we approved those on the 16th.
Second and the ninth.
Yeah,
So we really have the
Okay.
16th.
16th, 24th, and 8th.
Oh, this 16th was a marathon.
Yes.
So I'll entertain a motion to accept the minutes from March 16th, 2021.
So moved.
Is there a second? And then we'll review.
Second.
Thanks, BJ.
Oh, that's right.
Somewhat has to do with these minutes because part of the money we approved for Park and Rec goes towards playgrounds. Region 18 received some grants for their playgrounds. I don't know,
It was for the Haynes Park playground.
right, but what I'm saying is I don't know if that source of grants might be something the town could look at.
No, it's a specific grant, it's called the ESSER grant that the schools are using, and it's the COVID money directed towards schools
Okay.
exactly. It's called like elementary and secondary
Okay,
school something or other.
thank you.
I'm surprised that the playgrounds qualify in there, to be honest.
Well, maybe something with the COVID money we may or may
That-
not get.
that maybe we should
Maybe
look
there's
at.
some application there for some of these outdoor recreational things.
Yes,
Because they also use that grant for the outside classrooms
Yes.
at the elementary schools as well, which is great. Great use of, because they're gonna budget for those and do those. So,
Yeah, we're waiting for guidance.
I'm sure that's, yeah, everybody is, I think.
All right. Any revisions or changes or anything? So move to a vote. All those in favor of approving the minutes, March 16th, say aye.
All right.
Any opposed?
Aye.
Very good. March 23rd. Entertain a motion to accept the minutes from March 23rd, 2021.
So moved.
Second?
second.
Thank you.
I have a question. On page 5 of these minutes, under use of surplus, the last sentence reads, if 600,000, and this is, it's not substantive, but if 600,000 were to be used in surplus, the mill rate would be 23.21, an increase of 0.6%. Those numbers don't work. If it's an increase from 23.2 to 23.21, that's not 0.6%, so one of the numbers is wrong. Do you see that, Nicole, or you don't have that in front of you? You may have that answer, Andy.
I definitely don't have my budget book.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have to look. We went over different scenarios.
About 10 days.
How about we pass the minutes with a correction forthcoming from somebody, something like that, yeah.
There was a sheet you handed out though, Nicole, at that meeting, I think.
Yeah, I don't have it tonight.
I don't have it with me either.
Yeah, I didn't bring it.
So you want to revise the motion, pass the minutes subject to correction and,
Matt made the
Matt?
motion.
Yeah, I'd like to, revise the motion to accept the minutes pending the correction made to the mill rate calculation. As I recall, that was just an exercise, like a scenario
It was.
exercise.
Yeah, we didn't go with the 600,000, just an illustration. All I'm saying is the arithmetic is wrong in that sentence.
And these weren't, the budget wasn't the final number because we didn't have the final number for Region 18 yet either.
Right, we didn't take 600,000.
Right.
And
So
when-
BJ's just looking, he's just looking
Well,
for the,
when I went on my calculator to do the math, I came out with 0.04%, going from 23.2 to 23.21. If that's the right number, it's 0.04%. But I can't vouch for the fact that 23.1 is the right mill rate at 600,000 reduction. So let's just look it over again.
yeah,
I mean, earlier on in the conversation, it says, she stated this does not include the regional school district 18's final impact to town. So it was I think that
it was
was,
just showing us how the different money from surplus would potentially impact the mill rate.
yeah.
Can you just say that?
Yeah, you could just take out that whole sentence
Yeah.
yeah, that's a lot
Why don't we
easier.
just
Yeah.
delete
Yeah.
Yeah.
and just
Yeah.
say,
Right.
Just say, Ms. Stodgehart showed various scenarios
Yes.
using surplus to fund the budget. That's all you need.
yes.
Yeah, and then get rid of the other
Perfect.
two sentences.
And then take out that one
If no money,
Percentage,
yep.
Mhm.
And then if
if 600,000.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep, take that
All
out.
of that.
Yeah.
Okay?
That makes sense.
Okay,
Do you want to pass? those
motion
down?
to approve as revised.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
Aye.
Great. Okay, special meeting, April 8th. They'll blur together.
Make a motion to approve the minutes for the special meeting from April 8th.
Is there a second?
Second.
I am embarrassed to say that I was not present at that meeting, even though I said I would be. And the reason I wasn't was I just completely forgot about it. I was out and about doing something like this. So moved me from present to absent.
Thank you for your honesty. Present via phone.
At least you didn't second or make a motion.
I just had a comment that I think the time that we adjourned the meeting is incorrect. Because we started the meeting at 6:50.
Yeah. Well, no, I think at 5:50. I think we started at 5:50. Yeah.
Okay.
It says at the top 5:45 is when it was scheduled for.
Yeah.
Well,
so
we
let's just
adjourned
start
it at
with
5:56.
Yeah.
Otherwise, there was a 24-hour
It
meeting.
was a 24-hour meeting.
All right.
Yes, I'll call you.
So I'll entertain a motion to approve the minutes as revised for April 8th.
So moved.
Second.
Any further discussion? Move to a vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
And I abstain. Not having.
Any nays?
Me too.
Jude abstains as well. All right, thank you very much. No other business. I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second, without objection. All right, we are adjourned. Thank you very much.
Great job.
Nice work, team.
Another job.
Another one in the book.
Another one in the books.
So the mystery, Tim, is who introduced the change in the payment of personal property tax from once a year to twice a year?
I thought it was a threshold, a dollar threshold.
I'm just saying that Mr. Kelty doesn't know how it got onto the town.
Usually
to be.
it is.
It's there every year
No,
The same
but
motion?
Yeah.
but setting it up for two, because
for 2 payments.
for 2 payments for personal property? No, the cars are usually just one.
Cars are all at
But
once.
personal property applies to businesses' personal property.